does that say exactly about U.S. sovereignty if Israel is basically calling the shots, as you said, in dealing with the Middle East? Then aren't there times that, for example, what is good for Washington may not necessarily be good for Tel Aviv? And if Israel is calling the shots, where does that leave the United States?
Well, obviously, that's the fundamental dilemma in terms of American foreign policy, and I think Ray would agree with me on this, that essentially the Israeli veto over major aspects of U.S. foreign and security policy means that our policies don't make sense in terms of what the national interest of the United States is.
Okay, let me turn back to Ray. Now, what do you think? Do you think that the average American realizes, according to what you and Philip are saying, as far as the influence on the Israeli lobby to that extent that they can actually determine American foreign policy?
Well, first off, let me point out, it's never been my experience of almost 50 years in this town have I seen the Likud lobby able to derail appointments in the intelligence community at a lower than secretary or principal level. In other words, Chaz Freeman, as important and as educated as he was, fit for the job, he was 2 rungs lower than anyone I've seen the Likud lobby exercise a veto over. But it is true. It is true that Americans don't know about this, and the reason they don't know about it is because the Likud lobby is just as powerful in the New York Times, the Washington Post, and all of the, what I call the fawning corporate media, which do not give the American people a chance to learn the real truth. And that's why I admire so much Bill's work and others who are trying to expose this, because not many politicians will run the risk of saying, yes, I had to vote this way because AIPAC gives me so much money, and if I don't vote this way, they will give more money to my opponent next time. That's how corrupt the system is.
Okay, let me get Philip in. I'm almost out of time. Philip, 1 minute on this. So if what you're saying and what Ray is saying is true, does it make a difference then if the person who's called the president is George W. Bush or Obama when it comes to the Middle East? If Israel is calling the shots for the United States, what difference does it make who is president?
Well, you know, the president does have the ability to at least begin to turn this around by speaking to the American public and saying, look, I mean, we have national interests in the Middle East that are not the same as the interests of Israel, and it's because our economy is in trouble and we're fighting 2 wars at the present moment. We have to look at those interests in a serious way, and we have to be able to do things that are going to make Israel angry. But that's just the way it is. It requires the president to use what they call the bully pulpit, to use his position to try to change policy. But I don't think any president from either party at the present time would have the courage to do that. Okay,
and on that note, I'd like to thank both Philip Giraldi and Ray McGovern for being with us on another close-up look at today's hot stories. Join us right here, same time tomorrow. I'm Marzia Hashemi, signing out from Tehran. Thank you and goodbye.